Up next on the track, we have the boys 3,200 meter 5A classification. Last year, this race was absolutely insane. I'm excited to see how Adam Burleson is going to perform here today. From hit number 1 all the way through 9, you have Edwin Rotish, Logan Toch, Miles Westbrook, Nolan House, Burleson with hit number 5. He's a gentleman wearing the gold top, black bottoms. Then you have Charlie Hawk, Caden Gary, Joseph Wienen, and Aiden Fitzgerald to round out the field.
How do we feel about Burleson?
I'm excited to see Adam Burleson hit the track here today.
8:54 at the state championships last year for Burleson. And he's had a good year overall, running 4:02 for, well, last year he ran 4:02 for 1,600 meters and 4:03 for the mile. But we haven't seen a lot of him this season.
No, we haven't. Not much. I know he was on the football field for a little bit during the fall. Indoor season, we saw him compete at New Balance National Indoors. Little bit of outdoor running.
Had some news about him. University of Oregon decommitted there, signed with University of Texas.
Yes. So running on his future home track. That is quite exciting. So for Burleson, I can really see him kind of shake things up here today.
So a couple of particulars that could have a shot at taking him down. I would have to say Logan Toch, a North Texas signee from Melissa. He ran 9:05 at Regions, which is a really great performance, and he comes in with a lot of momentum. And also Edwin Rotich of Leander Rouse. We saw him at Blue Bonnet in March, ran a really great 3,200 meters, 9:13. So I think he could be in the mix there as well. He's in that black jersey on the outside of lane 1, just kind of hanging in with the pack.
This whole entire field, minus 2 athletes, are all ranked in the top 40 in the state. So to put that in perspective, a lot of these gentlemen just look so strong. They're fit right now for this part of the year. So it's going to be a great one.
A little bit of strategy off the bat. Burleson starting to break away in the second lap after a 67 opener. Toch kind of just locks into his hip right now and not letting him loose.
I feel like Toch is going to probably be his closest competitor. He's number 9 in the state, but I'm not going to count out Caden Gary, also with hip number 7. He's currently sitting somewhere in this mix right now, but he was ranked number 10 going into this meet in the state.
Yeah, he might have been a scratch.
He might have been a scratch here. I was looking forward to seeing that matchup there. But I'm kind of not surprised how this race is stringing out already. Burleson likes running from the front. He likes being in control of the pace. And as you mentioned, I think Toch is that next competitor in line to challenge Burleson. So he's sitting right on the heels of him right now.
67s for him is comfortable, I would say. Is it comfortable for everyone else? That's another question. I think, you know, Toch, that's right there at his upper limit of what he's run. Meanwhile, Burleson probably has an opportunity to start to kind of dig in a little bit more, but I think one of his intentions, as it looks like early on, is as he's trying to
untuck my uniform real quick.
He's like, I'm going to get comfortable as I sit out here in front and determine what this race looks like.
Yeah, last year was a foot race. I specifically remember calling that race with Ashley. He was cruising until the last 100 and literally started sprinting. So don't be surprised if Burleson waits till the last moment to make any kind of move. He knows how to time those moves correctly.
Well, he looks good so far. Came back about 2 seconds on that last lap. That's a 69. But Toch holding on to Burleson's every move right off the bat. And this is just another note, but we've seen a lot of boys, you know, dye their hair platinum blonde for the state championships. I think Burleson's maybe had that hair color for a little bit, but
yes.
I think, you know, the gold look, like the gold jersey, the, you know, the blonde hair.
Going for gold here. Also sitting in third right now, that is Joseph Wienen He was third in this event last year from Georgetown. He is a senior. Comes in with a 9:10 from his regional meet. Currently the 13th fastest boy in this distance in the state, so you shouldn't count him out either.
This whole field looks pretty comfortable through the
do.
first 1,600 meters, 4:34 on the clock, right on about 9:08 pace. Again, I kind of have to make a call out to Rotich. He's right there in 5th, now making his way up a little bit. I think he has an opportunity here. If I were him, I would maybe try to sort of take this pack by surprise in some ways. Or he could follow. He could kind of just follow the pack. But if I'm him, I would make a move just to insert yourself in a different scenario.
We're seeing a move being made by Toch on the and Burleson somewhat, or maybe he just wants to let him know, hey, I'm right here. Coming up on the shoulder, but now he's tucked underneath Burleson again.
I think that is pretty smart. At this point, I think you got to challenge Burleson at his own game and force him into an action as this race starts to close down. If you're Toch, I think you got to make sure that he races up on you. Otherwise, Burleson controls the whole race from start to finish here.
7 boys still in the mix right now. With 3 laps to go, that is still Burleson, Toch, and then the teammates from Georgetown tucking in 3rd and 4th.
A lot of strategy here going on. We got 3 laps to go here in the 3,200 meters. Burleson putting in a little mini move here on the backstretch as he starts to surge on the field.
Toch responds, though. He's like, I'm not letting you go out too far. He's still on his shoulder. We're single file on the backstretch. Burleson, Toch, Wienen, and House. And then Rotich right there, too, sitting in 5th.
You know, all these guys have put in state workouts, leading up to the championships, and they've had, their tempos, their thresholds, their VO2 max workouts. What's going to get them to the line? Right now, it looks like Burleson's work is paying off because he has broken away from the field here with 2 laps to go.
Broken away, and the Georgetown teammates respond, now moving into 2nd and 3rd. Burleson now has about a 10-meter lead on the chase pack.
And Toch, after holding on for so long, now starting to fall back into the rotation here as the Georgetown boys move up along with Rotich. Burleson put down a 68 there on the last split, so he broke away because he understood he needed to make that move. He's not out of the fold yet, though, because those Georgetown boys are still within grasp.
Yes, and then Rotich there, too, sitting in 4th. One of the taller athletes in the field, you can see, has those longer strides. But right now, Burleson looking up at the Jumbotron, probably seeing how much room he has on the rest of this field as he comes down the home stretch.
Those guys will have to close the gap here with less than 500 to go. Burleson holding on, 8 minutes here on the clock. It's not over yet.
Yes, it is not over. Burleson and then the Georgetown teammates maybe about 2 seconds back.
Wienen actually ran a faster split than Burleson on that last lap. And now he's closing on Burleson here with 300 to go. That's Joseph Wienen. Can the Georgetown senior take down Burleson?
Burleson trying to hold on, but we have a sprint.
Burleson has the rail, but now here comes Wienen passing the Lubbock senior. It's going to be a race in the final 200 meters as Wienen just says, I'm going.
And he's not looking back. Well, he made a little look over his left shoulder, but we're 100 meters to go to the finish.
Burleson's trying to fight. He's fighting with all his might here in the final 100, but Wienen has broken away, and he might have stolen this race.
Burleson has no response. So it's gonna
look at the reaction from Wienen. He says, hey, Mom, I did it. I got state.
We have a new state champion, Joseph Wienen from Georgetown, breaking 9 minutes, 8:59.98. Burleson with a 9:03.98 for second.
So he went a little early, and I think he just was trying to hold on as much as he could. But Wienen, he had something in his back pocket, and that was his final lap. 57 seconds on the last exchange for the Georgetown senior to go under 9 minutes. A huge benchmark for him. His teammate Nolan House finished third in 9:05.
Georgetown racking up some points as we wrap up the 3,200 meters for the day. What an exciting race that was, and you can already see the fans standing on their feet, looking with excitement on this race. Let's take a closer look at what is to come for the rest of the day. We